Hi guys, so as promised, I just want to really quickly go over what we talked about in class. So the first thing you want to do is go to this assignment, and I gave you guys the option. You can either do this on the thesis outline planner, which looks like this, and write into all the little boxes, or you can use the APA outline template, which is the actual APA essay format. It's all the same information, so it's just up to you whichever one you prefer. So as I said in class, I do my thesis last, especially for informative papers, because until you know what your sources are saying, you don't really know what you're writing about. The APA headings will be easier too once you kind of look through your sources. So if you haven't gone through and highlighted your sources yet to find the information that you want to use from them in your paper, that is your first step. So I have a source example right here, and I'm going to kind of take you through and show you the process for using your sources for this outline. However, before I start doing that, the first thing that I do is I cite my source, because I know I'm going to need at least 4 sources for this paper. So remember, this paper is 4 sources minimum, 6 sources maximum. So you have to have at least 4 scholarly sources, preferably from a database. So I'm going to take that information and I'm going to put it directly into my references page. Now you have to be smarter than the computer here, and you have to know what this is supposed to look like. If you're not a freak like me, then you can look it up in your handbook or on Purdue OWL. So I have that information there. Now I know I need to have a link as well because I got this offline. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. If you would prefer to do all of this manually, you can also go to Tools and use the Citations tools. Right here on Google Docs, depending on what you're working in. I don't recommend using the Microsoft Word citation tool because often it makes mistakes. It makes it really difficult to fix them. So I have my reference page citation. Now I'm going to go into my actual article. So I clicked on PDF full text, and I see this is my tiny little piece that I want to talk about. So Facebook is taking down all of these dangerous misinformation. I think that looks like a really good thing to quote. That's why I chose this. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to paste that in and reformat it. And for right now, I'm not really concerned with paraphrasing it, although I probably would paraphrase this because it's a little long. I'm just trying to get information down so I can start arranging it. Now I don't have an author for this source, so I'm actually going to use an abbreviated title. So my abbreviated title is social media, and I put that in quotations. And then the year that this was written is 2021. And then I know that it's the first page, and this is page 11. So here we go. And there is my source support and my citation. So now I'm going to talk about why I'm using this source. I'm going to say this information often causes people to avoid getting vaccinated. So my APA heading is going to be misinformation and public health. So I now know what this section is all going to be about, and if I have another source that brings information on misinformation and public health or talks about social media, I'll put that in this section as well. So really what you're doing is you're pulling all of the quotations from your sources and then you're just categorizing them. So depending on what you choose for your categories, that's going to guide then what your thesis statement becomes. And this is what we'll be working on Thursday. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I think that you all are doing really well with this. I'm more than happy to meet with you one-on-one. If you prefer to do it in this style as well, like I said, it's the same information, and either way is fine with me. So thanks again, and I'll see you all tomorrow.